All right. Braves. Well, I guess it wasn't a series loss because they still got to make up a game in, like, isn't it September or June? I have no idea when that game's supposed to be made up.
I don't know. It's beginning of the year is really frustrating to me because so many. We've already lost a game against what
Chicago.
Chicago, White Sox, and now we got lost one against the Mets, right?
Yeah.
So
Lost two to the Mets.
really,
Yeah. Well, the game that
games
we
we
went.
gotta make up.
Huh?
What I'm talking about is games we're having to make up.
Oh, yeah. The Mets, yeah, they had lost that game and then Chicago. So yeah, it's two games that they're already going to have to make up. But the Mets, I guess, tied the series, maybe, possibly. Who knows? I don't know what you call it in baseball, but let's talk. I mean, the last time we were on here was literally the day before Strider got hurt. Um, So let's break that down. You were talking about it before we started recording about the rotation and everything. Why don't you go ahead and kind of
Yeah. So early. I mean, it's very obviously very early, but I am concerned about the rotation because obviously Strider got hurt. Max Fried has not. Again, it's early, but we know Max. One of the knocks against him is health. Right now, it's not health. I think it's between the ears because there's a
right
walk. Yeah, so I hope he gets that straightened out. He's still got lot more starts ahead of him, but so far not so good for Max. And so Strider's down, and really where I was going, and then we got Charlie Morton, who's 39, 40,
40
and then Chris Sell,
who's 35.
yeah. So, and then you look and say, okay, in the years past, we've got Ian Anderson. Oh, well, no, he's got Tommy John, and I think is in double A ball, if that. Oh,
Right.
we've got Kyle Wright. No, we traded him. And so it seems to me like one of the biggest concerns, I'm not going to say anything beyond, put more emphasis on than concern, is definitely the starting pitching rotation. So that would be the first thing. Is like where is all of our pitching depth? That's what Atlanta used to be known for. You and I were talking about before, Wyona or Yona. Where's he at? Right, and because we're gonna need arms, and when you're depending,
Elder,
huh?
like, I
Elder,
mean,
where's he? And
yeah.
he's such a finesse pitcher. And it might be a good combo when you got all the swing and miss guys that Atlanta has, both in their rotation and bullpen. It might be good to have a finesse guy, but we're going to need arms. And I am concerned that a lot of the people that we kind of looked at and said, "Oh, Atlanta's deep in pitching," even in their farm club. That's kind of, unless I'm missing something and people I don't know about. We got rid of Schuster, which is a number one draft pick, right? Wasn't that the kid's name with the tattoos on
AJ
it?
Smith,
What was his name that had tattoos on
Schauber?
it? Shawer. Yeah. Got rid of him too.
I don't think so.
Yes, we did, sir. Check
Why
it.
would,
So,
no, he's still with the Braves.
are you sure?
I'm looking at it right now.
All right. Well, whatever. I just don't know if we're going to have the pitching depth, starting pitching depth that we're going to need. Bullpen early on, I would give it a C plus. They've definitely been leaky, depending on the night. The night that we went, which this past Monday against the Mets, they ended up losing it for them. But as far as offensively, look, I think Atlanta is one of the best teams, if not the best team offensively.
Sure.
I think the consistent player by player, 1 through 9, the pressure and the gauntlet that the opposing pitcher has to go through against people who are going to give him professional at bats that can hurt him. there is never a breath to be taken if you're a pitcher, the opposing pitcher against Atlanta.
Right.
And that part gives me a lot of confidence. But the pitching is really where starting pitching specifically. I think the bullpen will get itself fixed.
I
But
mean, the
yeah.
bullpen, that was one game, and they literally the night before they gave up nothing.
And well, over the weekend they gave up nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, that's right.
Weekend.
Right.
So I agree with you, but early on, bullpen lost another game for them. Well, they were leaky. So there's been out of 11 games so far. I think there's been 2 or 3 where the bullpen was leaky.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. Look, I heard him talk on actually 680. It was one of the few times I listened. But it was Chernoff, Matt Chernoff, host of Chuck and Chernoff, if you didn't know. And he was talking about, well, the Braves are going to be fine. They're going to have Yona and Ian Anderson's coming back, and they have Elder, and, they'll have a taxi squad every 5th day, and they have Wines or whoever the hell started today, and he looked like shit.
Yeah, that's our taxi day right there. That's what I'm concerned about.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. You have one of the worst offenses in baseball for the first 10 games of the season, and then they go off for 16 runs.
Yeah.
So I currently, if things change, obviously, look, the Braves won a World Series without Charlie Morton. They lost without Acuna, but I'm talking about just pitchers. Think about all that they lost. And in the World Series, the Braves literally had a bullpen game, and they won that game.
Yeah.
So Dylan Lee was a starting pitcher, which is just crazy to think about.
He did really well.
No, he got pulled in the first.
He didn't?
No, it was Ian Anderson that pitched really well. But he was like, his command, it was awful, dude. He would walk a batter, and then somehow you'd strike the next guy out, and then walk the next guy, and then get a double play. And it was just like that. They no-hit the Astros. So I don't, obviously, things could change, but as of right now, I don't see the Braves winning a World Series with what's going on right now.
Well, it's way too early. I mean, 162 games over what?
Well, we're so confident about winning the division. I mean,
I'm not confident about anything. I think Atlanta is a really good team, and I think they are, between them and the Dodgers, on any given day, I would line up from top to bottom. I would take Atlanta. I don't think there's any. Now, that doesn't mean those are going to be the 2 teams, because there's so many dynamics in baseball. But those are the best 2 teams in the National League. So, and I'm not particularly scared, because I think Atlanta's a better team. But that doesn't mean shit can't go wrong. Injuries can't just derail a season. People falling off.
Look, you're one injury in the starting rotation where you're really scrambling.
Yeah.
I mean, if Morton, Fried, Lopez, Arcel go down for an extended amount of time, you're in a bind, man. Yeah, you're in a really bad bind. If they miss 2 or more,
first part of the year, and I don't think everybody feels good. We're 7-4 and we're leading the division. Dude, this is the first 2 weeks of baseball. Relax. Yeah. We got a long season, and that's what my bigger point was that you're picking up on right now is, what happens if one of our 39-year-old pitchers, 35-year-old pitchers slings an elbow out, now
right.
What?
Yeah, and look, Morton might not have it after 10 starts. Sell might not have it after 10 starts. What do you do then? It might not even be an injury thing. They might just – their arm might be tired. What are you going to do then? These are not questions that I think a lot of people are thinking about when it comes to the Braves, and it kind of worries me. And here's another thing, and I know obviously it's early on, but Ronald Acuna hasn't been where he's usually been.
I'm not worried. I mean, I agree. He hasn't hit a home run yet, right?
No, he hasn't hit a home run.
And he's batting, when we were there, 235. I
He's
think.
batting 256 now. I don't know
That's
what it was
better.
after the game.
But I'm not worried. I'm on the offensive side of this team. I'm not particularly worried. I think it will be there. I think you'll find it. It's still cold for these South American players. Like, they're just getting their groove in, getting their rhythm. All I want for him is just stay healthy. He makes enough happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, and that's another thing that can they stay healthy? And what's going on with Sean Murphy?
Don't know.
I
Other
mean,
than
there's been zero updates on that, and it's been kind of quiet. And I know he's on the 10-day IL, but we're coming up on the 10 days.
yeah, they'll release a statement. But here's the thing I've learned over the years: people who are in really good shape. It seems like baseball players, which I get, they get them more than anybody else. I think there's so little fat on these guys that
Yeah,
these oblique injuries take forever to heal.
yeah,
So I would rather if there's any question that he could strain this thing again, hurt it. I'm good with Darno and this Trump guy until he gets 100%. I would not bring him. It's too early to bring him back.
yeah. No,
100%.
and then I'm also, I mean, like the Strider. I don't know. They put him on a 10-day IL, which I mean that doesn't mean anything because they can just move. They can just keep moving them on the IL. So, and so far the official prognosis,
Notice
yeah, was
sooner or later.
was a strain.
Yeah, I don't know. Sort of
So,
like
yeah,
Nick Saban and Kirby Smart giving you a official report. They're going to keep this shit. They're going to play by whatever rules they have to play by according to Major League Baseball. Tons of experts looking at it, tons of opinions, lots of thought processes going on behind the scenes that we won't ever be privy to. But when they have to tell us, they'll tell us, not before then.
yeah. So we go this weekend. We play the Marlins. And then we play, I think, the Astros after this, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull it up because I got 20 things in my head about different series. We don't play the Nationals in forever. Yeah, so the stretch outside after the Marlins, you got the Astros and you got the Texans. And obviously we get the Texans. Get the Rangers at home. But we're on the road the next week against Miami and Houston, and we have Miami at home again. That stretch there with Houston and Texas is going to be a tough little stretch.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. We'll see what happens with Atlanta, but Marlins, here's the thing that people may or may not realize. That's a hard place to go play. You and I have been to that stadium. Dude, it's vacuous.
Yeah,
There's nobody in there. And so you come from Atlanta road game, home series, 40,000 there every single night, raucous, ready to go. Then you go to a morgue and play in Miami. They're not that good. But
no,
this early in the season, they still got major league players. I wouldn't be surprised to see if that's not a really hard series for Atlanta to
kind of get off the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Roll right into Houston. So, I mean, I know it's early, but this is a pretty pivotal stretch for Atlanta. I want to see how this rotation and this pitching staff kind of starts working its way through because I'm concerned. I'm not worried, but I am concerned about our starting pitching and our bullpen.
and look, if Max Fried keeps having these starts, I mean that's two. If he has a third one, there's going to be
Now it's
major.
really right. Yeah, right now it's like my hands over the panic button. It's hovering, but I'm okay because I've seen him do it. But you're right. If he has 3 of these in a row, you know what his ERA is, dude?
Like 16 or something.
Yeah, it's 18, I think. 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
So
if he lays another egg Friday against
it looks like
Miami,
that practice like it did the last time he was out. Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be it's going to be the story of the season so far. I
Oh, for
think.
sure. Oh, for sure.
Um,
For
I mean,
sure.
basically, your
Your
ace.
ace.
Yeah,
It's your ace.
now it is. Yeah,
Sure it is. And
yeah,
I would argue he still was even after Strider won 20 games. I mean, he's been around too long and played too long and been too consistent for too long not to be called the ace. And I get why they put Strider as starting day starter, but same time, it's Max Fried is your ace.
yeah,
And so, yeah, 3 starts in a row where he shits the bed. That's a problem.
yeah. So I think the Miami series. Hopefully, they win the series. Houston, that's another big series. I think just to see where this team is, and then
Stacks up,
Texas,
right? Yeah.
huh?
Stacks up because Houston's a playoff team, right?
Houston's a playoff team. Texas, the Rangers just won the World Series,
Yeah.
and then you have Miami again, and then you have the Guardians, RIP the Indians, and so that's Houston, Texas, Cleveland. Cleveland's on maybe a playoff team, maybe. So we'll see what happens. I think this is. I don't think it's pivotal. I don't think this would. If they go on a losing snide, it's going to be the world's falling apart.
Hey, if
But
they come off that series, all those games you is at 500, I'd be all right with that.
that's what I'm getting to. If they just remain above water and they show a little bit, I think that will show what type of team they got and what we can expect the rest of the way. And really, we won't know what this team is until Labor Day. So, or not Labor Day, Memorial Day. So,
So how
we'll
my opinion is you don't know what you have in a team somewhere between 30 and 50 days. After that, you kind of know what you have.
I think about that 60 game mark is usually whenever you know what you got.
Yeah.
Then that's and then once you get to the 60-day or 60 game thing, that's whenever teams start making moves and trades. So maybe Atlanta can get a pitcher trade wise.
We're going to need arms based on what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, they're gonna need them. So we'll probably, I guess we'll do one probably in between the Houston series. I would guess another Braves rundown, just how
All right.
everything's going. I know there's been actually people watching these and like they care about the Braves, and if you listen this long, thank you. I don't think we're gonna get into analytics. We're not gonna get into WAR and OPS and bullpen stats. This is just beer and watch baseball type podcast or viewing. So if you're looking for analytics and stats and raw Braves, you can go somewhere else. But if you just want to hear two idiots talk about Braves and complain about it from a fan's perspective, then this one's going to be for you.
These are my statistics. I can tell by watching. I don't need to know.
I care about ERA and batting average and how many home runs he hit, or that, and then extra base percentage, whatever that is. I forget what that stat's called, but that's what I care about.
Basic.
Very basic. I don't care about launch angle. It means nothing to me.
Velo exit.
Yeah, the velocity exit. I don't care about any of that. Or I don't care how hard you hit a ball. If you get out, you're out. It doesn't matter to me how hard you hit it. So great. I find the most annoying whenever they talk about that on the broadcast. Oh, here we can talk about this for just a couple seconds. I like CJ Nowitzki or whatever the hell his last name is. The new Braves announcer.
Cannot speak to it. I have not listened enough. When I do listen, it's usually not the Braves broadcast, to be honest with you.
Well, I thought him and Godden are a pretty good pair. I missed Frank Core a lot because actually Frank Core and Godden's relationship was pretty good. Godden gives him shit and Frank Core gives it back. It was kind of fun. It was a comedy up there. And that's what I enjoy. So, but so far, I would give a A to the broadcasting booth. I don't like that Willie Ballard guy though. I could do without
Who's
him.
the CJ guy? Did he play? Is he the
Yeah, he played in Atlanta. Oh, I think he was like 04 to 07. Let's see.
really?
I vaguely remember him playing, but not. Let's see. If you can see my face, it's really beautiful. Let's see here. He was only for 1 year, and we traded him in the same season to the Yankees.
What's his name? CJ what?
CJ Nitkowski. Nitkowski.
There you go. I don't know. I don't remember him.
I have like a memory, but I don't know if that's just me seeing highlight tapes of the Braves or if that was actually like a memory of mine. So whatever.
I listen on the radio. So
I like to watch the game, but I could do without the Willie Ballard guy. Just personally, I find him weird. He really puts me off.
what happened to our guy Bird?
Paul, he's not on. He's gone.
I wish he'd come back. I liked him.
I liked him all right, but yeah, this Willie Ballard guy, I think he went to Tech too.
Mm.
Yeah, he's very robotic. I don't like him. I do like that girl that they have, but she's working for the Charlotte Hornets. She went to Georgia. She went to Grady. She's also heard that she's easy on the ice. So Willie, I mean, I'm sure he's easy on the ice to some too. I mean, he's a good looking guy himself, but he's a stiff. Not a big fan of him. Just not a big fan. So I guess on Willie Ballard talk, we'll end it there. Probably come back after the Marlins series, probably in between the Houston series. Like and subscribe. Google Blogger right now. Going to have a WordPress up in a minute, probably in the next couple of days. Just trying to get that ironed out because it keeps crashing on me. I don't know. I'm just trying to be honest to the people who are watching this. And then also on Twitter, we've actually gained followers. Terminus Sports ATL on Twitter. And for your shipping needs, go to.
You can call Unishippers and go to Pat Lumpasi.
All right, Unishippers Atlanta for everyone.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you then, and hopefully the Braves tread water. All right. See you on the other side.